Hello, everyone, and welcome to the V Show, hosted by Patrick Austin, also known as PA and better known as PA. This is episode number 2. We want to thank you guys for joining us. And before we get started, I want to thank my partners, people that have definitely given to the V Club and trying to help us achieve our goal of fully funding athletics. That's Visit Jackson, Capital City Beverages, the GNC Mangino Family Stores, Vogue Furnishing. Just want to say thank you guys. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for believing in us and our quest of helping to get MVSU fully funded. We got a wonderful show today. 2 wonderful men that'll be on joining us today. One I've worked with, know well, then took me under his wing, a true mentor. Man, accolades. Both of the guys that's on today got accolades out the door. We have Terrell, Buckley, current Ole Miss, defensive back coach, college football Hall of Fame, 16 years in the NFL, Super Bowl champion, Thorpe Award winner. We got him, and then we also got one of our very own, Paydirt. And if you don't know what Paydirt is, you need to Google it, look it up, and it'll explain it. And he don't mind telling you why. Mr. Parnell Dickinson, Tampa Bay Buck MVSU legend. And so I'm excited about the guys we have on today. I'm excited for you guys to get a little bit of insight about them. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. So we're going to start off. Buck, you in there? T-Buck, talk to me, baby. Buck, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
Man, complaining won't get it done, man. And I'll tell you this, dude. We got an uphill battle with some of the things that we're trying to do at this level to get fully funded, have our guys get full scholarships, the ability to receive their Pell back, our guys and gals. And that goes for every sport across the board here at MVSU. And so thank you for joining us today. What we try to do is also get perspective from, people like yourself that have been in the business. People don't know that you cut your teeth outside of your NFL experience. And after your playing days, man, you really love this thing, man. You started out as assistant in the weight room at Florida State after playing?
Yes. I was going back, finishing school after 14 years. I always tell people perseverance, vision is what it's all about, and being consistent. I was determined. I was in school basically 5 semesters, and I needed 70 plus hours to graduate, and I was taking those classes throughout my playing days. And finally, I got within 16 hours, and I went back to Florida State and finished, and became a weight room guy on the football team, which is very, very exciting.
Man, that's awesome, because I know we go back a while. I mean, all the way back to me recruiting my kids when I was coaching, and you was at Akron.
Yes.
So, man, I appreciate you, everything you've done for me as far as taking me under your wing, especially when we worked together in Starkville. But now you're in another Mississippi school. You're at Ole Miss, the Rebels,
yes,
or the school up north, as some refer to. But how is it in Oxford, man? Y'all doing some good things this year. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, we call ourselves the Land Sharks on defense. So what you give the Land Sharks is we are patrolling the land, and we're like a bunch of sharks. That's what we're trying to portray, and I think we are heading in the right direction. Obviously, this season, has really just begun. We're starting to get into the meat of the schedule, and it's SEC playtime, and we're very, very excited about our challenges. This week we have Bama, next week Arkansas, but all the guys in the SEC are capable of winning week in and week out, just like the NFL.
Oh yeah, look, and that Arkansas team is shocking some folks. Bama are what they are, man. Wanted to ask a quick question. At our level, HBCU, sometimes we run up into the big boys when it comes to recruiting. Mm-hmm. But then a lot of times we're not given the opportunity based on funding, right?
Yes.
Now with the NIL rules, the name, image, and likeness, some of that can be balanced depending on, the alumni ties and the business connections within the community. Let's talk about recruiting a little bit. I heard you got a big one today, and
Yes.
congratulations on that. But let's talk about recruiting a little bit and how the NLI can change the landscape a little bit. Share your thoughts.
Well, it's a game changer because now that little money that the guys felt like they was missing by going to HBC, that it is no longer, it's not feasible because there's opportunities that you can get through this NIL of I can get a little more money. I can go to my local town. I can also go to where my college is at. And so I can make up the difference by going to another college. If my personnel is right, if I'm handling my schoolwork, if I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to do, the opportunity, I think is there. I know it is a game changer.
Right. And you know what? One of your close friends, and if I ain't mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you went to Florida State. There's a guy in Jackson right now that you followed behind to Florida State, even though he's a Florida boy. And people don't know you cut your teeth. Some that don't know. You right down there in Pascagoula. And you were born in Columbia, so you are a true Mississippi guy. And 3 years later, after this gentleman was picked, you were picked at the same pick number 5 at the same school. So if I ain't mistaken, he had some form of influence. And for those that don't know who I'm talking about Coach Sanders at Jackson State University. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with him and how you chose to follow his footsteps at Florida State, because typically y'all basically did the same thing as far as the Thorpe Award, the return game, and just learning the game. Tell us a little bit about, your conversations with him since he's taken the job at Jackson State University.
Oh man, I'm very, very excited. It's something, and it even goes before that. You just called him Coach Sanders before the incident a couple of weeks ago. I called him D. Now I call him Coach Sanders. We
don't want to get in trouble. We don't want the problems. I got you.
Yeah, we don't want no problem. I don't want that smoke. So
no doubt.
You have Tyrone Wheatley that's doing it over there at Morgan State. You have Eddie George that's up at Tennessee State, and what they've done, along with Dion, obviously, Coach Sanders is brought the spotlight to the inequities that happens in the HBC, and he's bringing it up to light, and now it's people's job to take advantage of it. I mean, he's telling you it's the same ball. We can get the same type of athletes. We can play great ball too, but now can we get the fields? Can we get the fan support? Can we get on TV? And all that stuff is starting to happen. Now, we're getting that exposure, and people seeing that quality football is being played in the HBCs. Right.
Well, how does that, you being in a Power 5 locker room, and that's even with coaches, how is that being taken? Is it frowned upon, or some guys encouraged, or just kind of give me just a feel per se from that perspective of at the Power 5 level, how some coaches are looking at it? Because I've been told, prior to Eddie taking the job and Tyrone taking the job and Dion taking the job, that there ain't nothing that I'll do, man. That's career suicide. Now it seems like it's a hot thing to do. What are some of the things you're hearing in the locker room where you are?
Very, very exciting. You're spot on when you said about if you go to HBC school to coach, man, you're gonna stay down there. They don't pay well. All those types of things, right?
Right.
With these guys coming, with Coach Sanders leading the way, it's open up many, many doors and opportunities in guys like myself and everybody's mind that says, hey, we can go down there and have that impact on all kids, have that impact and show that we can coach too and win ball games and bring that excitement and get it back to me the way it should be. It should be, I don't know if it ever be on, we said an equal playing field, but it should be winning ball game. I think it's an opportunity that you can get it in ball game. That's what I think is happening, and that's what's being talked about in the locker room.
in my opinion, my humble opinion, the finances will follow the talent. And so if we're able
Yes.
to do and be creative in the way that we acquire talent at HBCUs, I think that there is a possibility for that to happen. Um, uh, you have done a lot in your 15. Is this your 15 or 16 years coaching?
This is my 15-year coaching, and every
Okay.
year, as you get older, I heard
Yeah.
the introduction. My plan, how many years I played, keeps getting bigger and bigger. In a minute, I'm gonna play as long as Darren Green played. I'm gonna be like 20, 25 years. I take that too. I take it.
Yeah. Well,
This is my 15-year coaching.
Got you. So, what are some of the goals that you have left? I know the Natty is definitely on
Yes.
tilt, but career goals wise, 5-year plans. Man, what are some of the things that you still want to accomplish in the coaching game? Because you've done very well. Your family is awesome. Tell the girls, well, they're not girls now. They're wonderful young women. They're also in their careers being successful. Your wife is doing well. I mean, and I know you love the golf now. So.
Yes.
What are some of the things left on your bucket list per se when it comes to career wise?
Obviously, as a coach, you want to win a big one. You want to do that as
Absolutely.
a coach. Also, I feel like the title coach, it's one of those I want to mix it also with teacher, because I think ultimately I'm a coach, teacher, influencer. The best part of my days now are when I'm in the film room and I get to talk with the guys after church on Sunday. We have a conversation about what happened at church. Just having an impact on their lives, not just on the field, but off the field. It's really what I'm excited about. And I think you can do that even to a higher level, what Coach Sanders is doing there. I want to be a head coach also. Tyrone Wheaton, and not just because of what Coach Sanders has done, but that's been one of to be a head coach. And I think I'm at that point. That's the next step.
You know what?
To be a head coach, no matter where that's at.
And the one thing that I can say and attest to that, Buck, that will give you a heads up and definitely endorsement on my behalf is the fact that you already been coaching. And you have those recruiting relationships, whether it's down in New Orleans or over in Alabama, or definitely your veins run deep throughout this state. And you understand recruiting and what it takes to get it done, man. So we wish you well in that endeavor. And then, of course, I'm your boy. I'm PA, man. Anything that I can ever do to help and assist that, I'm going to be there for you. One last question. Now, you in the College Football Hall of Fame, right?
Correct.
You got a Super Bowl championship, right?
NFL Hall of Fame numbers.
Yeah, NFL Hall of Fame numbers. Yeah, so that means you go
right.
Right. Okay. So you got all those. And let me ask you something. Are you in the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame?
No. Can you believe that? I might.
I thought they were telling me the truth. I'm like, nah, man, even Pastor Gould, I think they hold Florida State against you, brother. Because
you got guys coming that wasn't born here, that played
that's true.
2 years in college that's in there. But listen to this.
You know what?
Got all-state numbers. 2-time all-state ball player.
High school state champion.
High school state champion.
Baseball. Yeah.
Track. And listen to this. Cousins of Walter Payton. I mean, what else do you want?
Man, look, I'm going to have to get on the folks in Jackson. We're going to have a serious talk. Not to mention, look, you talking about just playing accolades. Man, you going on what? You're number 6 coaching in the state. And
not only that, one of the things I really, even coaching, and you said it, Akron, when I was at Akron, Louisville, even Florida State, I recruited hard my state.
No doubt.
I'm going to have the same opportunities that I had and be able to take it back and make us, I say us, because I'm a part of Mississippi. I'm Gula. We don't even say Pascagoula. I'm Gula.
No doubt.
The Fula from Gula, Coach Bowles. The Fula from Gula. That's what you need to know.
Look, I'm gonna leave that alone because you stole one from me in Louisville. I coached him, and you was able to still get him, and it ended up being good for him. So I ain't gonna hold that against you, brother. Look, I
Yeah,
understand
don't do
y'all
that.
got Bama this week. I understand y'all got Bama this week, man. Best of luck, brother. Much love on my end. Thank you for all you do and have done for me and helping us get started. And by the way, people that's listening, he's not just giving you lip service. My man has opened up his pocketbook to help the V Club get started. Thank you again, T-Buck. Good luck this weekend, and we rooting for you, dog.
Hey, anything for you guys, man. You look good in those colors, and I wish you guys much success and happiness. Thank
And
you.
you did wear a little green in Green Bay. We'll give you that too, because you played
I
with one of them.
I got one of them hanging up on the wall. I got some green in me.
Yeah, look, and you played with one of the ones that they know in the state, Mr.
Hey,
Brett Favre.
listen, Liz.
Yeah.
My mom's first car, not mine. I bought her a car for her. I ain't even have a car. Money green Lexus. Got to think about how old that is. That was a long time ago.
Oh, you going back, baby. You going back. Hey, Buck, man, thank you for your time, brother. We appreciate you. And good luck this weekend, man.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all. Hey, much success. Thank you.
All right, brother. All right, man. Buck was awesome. Always is, man. God-fearing man, mentor. I can't tell y'all how much he's meant to me as far as, just being a person that you can talk things through as you navigate yourself through this career. And, I know I am where I am because of people like him and Kevin and other guys, Dan Mullen, that poured into me. So I thank them for that. And now all I want to do is, as Patrick Austin, and executive director of the V Club and the director of corporate partnerships for the university, bring some of those things that I've learned in those relationships over to our university, the home in the Delta. Now, as I say that, we'll transition to one of our own. I call him the Godfather. Others call him Paydirt. There's a huge debate on, folks that are in the know on who was the best to ever come through our institution. And I thank him for his time. I know he down there in Florida kicking it as always. Mr. Parnell Dickinson. Paydirt Dickinson. I call him the Godfather. Parnell, where you at, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you? Appreciate you, man.
Man, what is all of that on that wall back there, man? Can I look? I'm gonna have to buy me something to put on my wall so it can look like yours. I'm just gonna have to start doing a show in a museum or something, man. That is beautiful, brother.
Well, hey, what can I say? What can
Man,
I say?
you've been blessed. And look,
a lot of great people, man, is deserving of all of this that you see up on that wall. I didn't do any of this by myself. I had a lot of helps, and I appreciate all of my teammates throughout the years because, none of that stuff would be up there if it had not been for them, some of them.
Man, look, people don't know that you're an Alabama boy, but I say you're Mississippi through and through. And I know you love the V in the Valley because it helped you be who you are. Am I right on that?
Exactly. You're definitely right. I am who I am because of Mississippi Valley. My wife is from Mississippi Valley. My son was there in Mississippi Valley, was born there. So, hey, I can't give up Alabama as my hometown.
No doubt.
But I got two places. I got Alabama and Mississippi.
And that's a blessing to have, man. Look, give me the rundown on how you got the nickname Paydirt.
Well, before I get into that, let me say this. I want to thank you, man, for the great work that you're doing at the Valley. We appreciate you, and you continue to do what you're doing. You're doing some great things, and it's very well needed. And
appreciate that.
I appreciate that, and I want you to hear me say that. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, the Paydirt thing that happened to come from one of my teammates who is still a great friend of mine now. We were practicing one day and 7-on-7 we were scoring a lot of points, and he mentioned Paydirt. Man, he just Paydirt again. And it kind of stayed with me, and then when I got drafted to Tampa and came to Tampa, one of the sports writers named Tom McEwen picked it up, and he blew it up. And here we are, 40-something years later, and that's
still Paydirt.
Still Paydirt.
Hey, that's what happened when you touch that soil. They say, according to Webster, I'm paraphrasing here, but when you touch that soil is profitable. So that means that you enlightened the end zone a whole lot.
Yes.
Congratulations, man. I know you doing your work with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Congratulations on another Super Bowl, man. And I know y'all sporting that ring, man. Tell us a little bit about what you're currently doing now for our Valley alums so they can kind of keep up with you a little bit.
Well, this is my 27th year. I'm an inspector for the NFL, which has to do with licensed apparel and uniforms and stuff like that. There are certain codes that guys have to abide by when they're entering the playing field and entering the arena where the cameras are on them and things like that. So we kind of monitor that kind of stuff. It's pretty good little keep you in the game, keep you in a position where you can develop some real good relationships. So I've been around the game for a long time, and I appreciate being around it for a long time too.
And one thing that you're able to show that I think is just amazing is the longevity. Everybody playing days in at some point, and for some, like yourself, people always say that it was premature. However, the ability to reinvent yourself and be around the game, like you said, it gives a lot of people inspiration and hope, because there are other things besides being a person that puts the helmet on and play on Sunday. It's another multitude. And so there's people that's at the university right now that can be inspired by that. You touched on something earlier in the conversation. You said that your wife is from Valley, and you had your son at Valley. So what does Valley mean to you in the heart?
Well, Valley means a whole lot to me, man, because when I left home, my father handed me off to Coach Weathersby, who was my coach at Valley. I was 18 years old, and I came to Valley and met who's my wife now, my girlfriend. Our son, our oldest boy, was born while I was at Valley. We both got our degrees from Valley. My master's come from Valley. Valley just did so much, for me in my life, and I was so fortunate to have coaches that they were about making sure that whatever you left home with in the environment that you were with your parents, that they carried on, because back then they were building men and football players. It wasn't just we weren't just taught plays. We were taught the facts of life. And so that's kind of what I really, really appreciate about that whole environment at Mississippi Valley. The entire environment was very, very conducive for me being where I am today, and that's why, if you scratch me, you may see green instead of red. So that's just kind of, and my wife is the same way. We love ourselves some Mississippi Valley, and but it's really heartbreaking sometimes to see where we're at from an athletic perspective, and that was what actually brought me to Mississippi Valley. But
well, you mentioned that because the academic side of it and the support staff, and I often talk about the accountability that Mr. and Mrs. Thomas used to have on us in the sociology department. That nurturing deal that holds you accountable, that still exists. And so for young people out there that's debating on, what school and this and that, the one thing that I can say about our alma mater at MVSU is our people don't give up on you, man. But you touched on something about athletically. touch a little bit in the notes. You've seen a transition change over the years, man. How have you seen some of the things that have kind of gone astray, or share some of your thoughts on what we can do to try to get some of that back?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, and I'll be very honest with you. You know, when I came to Tampa, I was on a team that lost 26 straight games. Okay, so I've seen what losing can do, and I've also seen how you build a winner as well, because I've been here since 1976.
Okay.
And one of the things that I think that's very important, you know, for us as Mississippi Valley is the fact that you can go all the way back to our original founder, Dr. White. Dr. White, you know, realized at some point in time in his life that we had to do something for ourselves.
Right.
So he decided to build Mississippi Valley State University because, you know, we needed to teach our kids about, you know, how life was. So
right.
he was a very, very, very sharp, very good leader. You got to have leadership. You got to be able to change culture. Okay.
Right.
And I just say, you know, there's what I call, you know, the three ships, and the first one being leadership. You know, you got to have great leadership, because if you don't have good leadership, you don't know where to go. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when you're dealing with the master people. You gotta have leadership. When you got leadership, you got people now that can go out and connect with other people, and people that you are involved in can see the direction that you're going, and it's a lot easier for them to follow you or to partner with you when you show strong leadership. We've got to make sure we get our culture changed. We got to have a culture change.
I got you.
We've got to do for ourselves as alums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's over 75 years old. We're not old as Alcorn or Jackson State or any of those schools, but there's enough of us to where if we bind together, I mean, Valley needs our heart, our soul, and Valley needs our pocketbook. You know, we come to the games, we tailgate, we have a good time, but we got to start leaving some checks. And I think you have the vehicle that's good for that, the V Club. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Number two, the other ship that I'm so passionate about is scholarships. You know what I mean?
Say it, brother.
Our head football coach, it's hard to hold somebody accountable when they don't have what they need to be successful. And we competing against schools with 63 and 70 scholarship athletes, and we only have 35 or 40, if that. That's like sending a man out in the woods to kill a bear with a switch. You know what I mean? So we've got to do something about that. When I say we, I'm talking about alums.
Yeah.
We got to do something about that. Mississippi Valley, if you got a degree from Mississippi Valley, that's our school.
Yeah.
That's our school. I mean, you see all this stuff here on this wall. I would not have any of that if it had not been for my teammate in Mississippi Valley. So what we've got to do to get ourselves off the bottom, we got to get involved. We got to have the kind of mentality that Dr. White had when he first started Mississippi Valley, to say, hey, we gonna make a difference. And that's what we got to do. Then the other ship that I'm talking about, the third ship, what I call is relationship. If you got leadership, scholarship, you got to have relationships. Just like when you first came on, you talked about your sponsors that were sponsoring this show. Those people they are sponsored because of the relationship that you had developed with them. So that's what the leader does with the scholarships and then the relationships. Once you got your relationships, now you got the magic formula to move you forward. Now, coach got his scholarships. We got a beautiful facility for our kids to play. like you're doing now, AstroTurf in the field. Now we become very attractive to people. They got scholarships. They got a nice place to play. We got some beautiful uniforms. But hey, the leadership has got to lead us to that. I could sit here and talk about it all day. I'm way down here in Florida. I could help. But we got to have some leadership, and we got to have those scholarships, and we got to have those relationships. And that is something that we as alums have to do. Nobody else is not going to do this for us. We've been at the bottom of the SWAC for the last 25 years. That's ridiculous. And we don't have to be there.
And you know what? The blessing that was bestowed upon me, you know, Dr. Briggs, allowing us to form the V Club, my board, they do an amazing job of spreading the word, especially at a grassroots level. And it's people like you who have not just talked about it, but also put the money where their mouth is. And we appreciate, you know, your contributions as well. You said leadership, scholarships, and relationships. I personally feel like that last one, as far as with the relationships, is kind of where things may have gone astray at some point. And I feel like we're in a position now to rebuild those, bridge them, and all of us working collectively together can really be a catalyst for change for our university, man. And I want to appreciate you, you know, and the things that you do. And it's not just what people don't know and see on this camera is I can call this man, it could be 1:30 in the morning and he'll have some words for me. Pat, don't do that. Or you know, Pat, you got to hang in there. You got to stick with it. And I appreciate that because, you know, you can't put a price on that kind of stuff. So I appreciate you bestowing some of your wisdom, you know, as we begin to maneuver and, you know, navigate our way to this thing of fully funding our athletic program so we can be competitive and be what we are supposed to be, because we're not that far off, man. We have a beautiful campus. It's filled with beautiful people and you know, wonderful personalities and a lot of folks that actually care. And you're not the only one. It's a lot of people. If you cut them open, they're going to bleed green. All right. And the trick to it is galvanizing us all and putting us on all one accord, man. Look, I appreciate your time. Thank you for all you've done and continue to do for the Valley. And when you get some of them kids like you've done before, like my teammate TT, Tyrone Timmons, shout out to you, brother. Keep sending them up here, man. Keep sending them up here. And we appreciate you. Appreciate your time, Paydirt.
Okay, man. Thank you. And we appreciate all the good things that you're doing. And just one shout out to a Valley alum that's very ill right now, named Lionel Lowe, also known as Junie Lowe. Keep him in your prayers.
Absolutely.
Very, very, very deep Valley alum who's fallen ill, but God can perform some miracles. So, you know, if you're at the sound of my voice, you just whisper a prayer to God on his behalf. We would appreciate that.
Thank you again, and definitely prayers up for the alum. Thank you again, Brother Parnell.
Okay, brother. Thank you and good luck.
Yes. All right, everyone. This is gonna wrap up the show. If you enjoy what you heard and want to continue to see this and help us make change, visit the website, MVSUVclub.com. Once again, that's www.mvsclub.com. Be that catalyst for change. Spread the word. We need the help. You know what I mean? We got a needs list as long as train smoke, but it starts with every little bit counts. So appreciate you guys for tuning in to us. I want to thank our sponsors one more time. That's Visit Jackson, Capital City Beverages, Muskelly Furniture, the Mangino GNC stores. Thank you guys for believing in what we're doing and supporting. Vogue Furnishing, the MVSU NAA. You know, without the Alumni Association, where would we be? You know, and we all have to grow together. So thank you guys again. We'll see you next time.